the hurt and the betrayal and all of those things that I was hanging on to occupied a really big part of my daily thinking, and now it's gone. And so now I'm like, well, what else am I going to think about?
So what do you think you could replace those thoughts with? I've received my abundance. I mean, there's still more to come. And I've got this room now within me and it's an empty space. What do I fill that with? And I know what I fill it with. And
Tell me.
I fill it.
Tell me.
Tell me. If you're actively seeking ways to build your mental toughness, navigate life transitions with grace, or simply find inspiration to keep moving forward, then you're in the right place. Welcome to the Art of Beautiful Thinking podcast. Hi everyone, welcome to the Art of Beautiful Thinking. My name is Yvette and I'm here with my co-host Cat. In today's session, we're actually going to go through, Cat's having a bit of a downer, right?
A bit of a downer.
She's done some major forgiveness work and
oh God.
And usually what happens after you do that type of work is you do go through a little bit of a slump period. We're just really going to go through what's been happening with Kat, why, do a little bit of coaching perhaps, see where the conversation leads.
Yeah.
But also it's just to really show that it doesn't matter how much work you've done on yourself, you're still going to have down days. And that's what we're going to cover really with today's session. So over to you, Kat. What's been going on?
Well, I went through really intensively, because I've been doing the Art of Beautiful Thinking workbook, as you know, and
the Authentic Life Blueprint one,
the Authentic Life Blueprint, and I've been doing all of the work in that, and that was brilliant. And what I loved about that was I had loads of aha moments where I would process what we'd done and go through it and go, oh wow, and it kind of would lift you to a new level every time you did something. And it was just, I was on this high for ages going, oh, I'm feeling really great and I'm feeling so resilient and, it's amazing and nothing can touch me. Then I decided to step out in courage and do the forgiveness work, which was very difficult for me. I found that very challenging because that's the other thing about personal growth. Some things scare you.
Well, I suppose for you also, I mean, we've known when you did your value system that forgiveness was one of the lowest on your value system, as in for me, it's one of my highest. So it was something that you were always going to struggle with.
Yeah, I'm not a forgiver traditionally. I'm not surrounded. I wasn't brought up with forgivers and I haven't had a lot of practice at it.
Well, so how'd you find the process though?
The actual process of forgiving and forgiveness, when I adopted it as an intellectual process where I was going, okay, this is physics. This is how the universe works, not, oh, emotionally I have to do all this, this, and this. It was like, okay, I'm going to do this because this is how metaphysics works. This is how the universe works. I want to change my vibration. I don't want to hang on to old negative things that I was hanging on to and negative thoughts going around in my head and the people who done me wrong. I don't want to hang on to that because I think it's wasted space. It's taking up energy and space in my head and in my psyche that I can use for other things. And so the minute we went through all of that forgiveness stuff and I chose to go ahead and really do the shifts in energy, and it was a cerebral process, but I also felt the energetic shift. Suddenly abundance started flowing into my life and I started getting all the things that I've wanted for the last 4 years. Which was, and it didn't just happen slowly. It went bang, 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 bang. And I was like, oh, okay. And it was effortless. Interestingly, I didn't have to do anything. It was like I'd unblocked a dam and the water just came rushing through. And in the initial phase of that, I was like, oh yeah, this is great. This is great. I'm getting all the things I want. This is amazing. And then I came down from that and now I'm going, oh, I feel really flat. So what is that about, Eva? Tell me.
So why do you think you're feeling flat though? Like, tell me about it.
Well, because I think a lot of what I wanted was tied to giving me financial freedom from having to work for anybody, and giving me all of I'm one of these people. I've always got goals in my head, right? I've always got goals in my head. I've always got dreams, ideas. My husband said to me, we'll move somewhere and in 5 years' time you'll go, oh, there's better. And I said, yeah, but has your life improved every time? He goes, yes, but that's beside the point. I always like to have another thing to move forward from. And I think in some ways, having let go of all of that negative shit, it's sort of left a whole bunch of thinking space empty because I don't need to go over that anymore. And now my brain's going, twiddle your thumbs, what are you doing? And then I'm one of these people that will say to myself, okay, what are you doing that's, that's actually progressive? Are you being useful? Do you have a purpose? And I
Right.
feel a bit purposeless because I've achieved a lot of my stuff that I wanted, and it all went bang, 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 bang. And I went, okay, what now? That's kind of
Now that's
how it's
interesting
working.
because we know the next phase of the Authentic Life Blueprint is actually all about you finding your purpose
Yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah,
keeping that. So
well,
obviously you haven't hit that part of it obviously yet.
no.
And that's probably really with this conversation, that would be the next thing. So
Mm.
you mentioned about you feeling a lack of purpose. What do you if you were to tap into yourself, what are the things that bring you joy?
Oh, I love doing this podcast. I love it. I love it. And I really feel that, we will grow our community. And we've already had messages from people who have found our podcast really useful and have found that it's given them arrows to the brain that has improved their life. So I love doing that.
Mm.
I love seeing other people move forward in their life, and supporting other people to do that. I love that. That is a purpose for me, definitely. But beyond that, that's a huge purpose, but just at the moment, it doesn't seem to take up enough space for me. I think maybe in time as we grow, hopefully it will.
So where do you think in that area you feel that you can add more?
Probably need to do some of the heavy lifting with you and Jeff.
Ah, okay. Right.
Yeah, I probably will. At the moment, I'm just your podcast mate that pops up and does the podcast. I'm not really doing a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, so maybe I should do a bit more of that. But
Okay.
yeah, and it's funny because I'm back at the gym. I'm doing all the things I want to do there, and I just feel a bit restless
Yeah.
and a bit kind of. Yeah, like I had a really good chat with a friend of mine the other day who's finally finished studying for her psychology. Like she's done 5 years of study now. She's got to do a year at work and then her final clin psych, her master's, final year of her master's. And I'm really pleased for her because she's worked so hard. And a part of me went, oh, thank God I don't have to go through all of that she's gone through, and I don't have to work for other people again. But also a part of me went, oh, how exciting for her that she's stretching her mind and doing stuff that really lights her up.
Yep. So what
Mm.
lights you up? So you've got the podcast. What is it specifically about the podcast that lights you up from a point of view of, I know that you were saying that you love seeing the impact that it has on people's lives.
Mm, mm.
But what
So
about the impact?
I used to love interacting when I was, in justice and
Yep.
all those kind of community roles. I just used to love seeing people get strong and
Yeah.
suddenly make a change in their lives. Like I love that. That's my big thing. I love seeing people go from thinking small and struggling to just stepping up. I just love seeing people level up. That
And
that
how
lights
can
me
you
up.
assist with that? Besides the podcast, what else can you do to help, level people up?
Well, I don't want to work with anyone here because
Yeah.
I don't want to step back in time 50 years and get bullied by dipshits. So I'm not doing that. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? Um, yeah, maybe I need to start another business on the side or something. I don't know.
Do
I'll
you
have
really
to.
need to start another business,
I
or
don't really feel like it. No.
can you look within the actual, like what we're doing with the podcast? We've got
Yeah.
the coaching arm as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's elements that can happen in the coaching arm.
Mm,
And I
mm.
know that you were saying that you enjoy basically expanding your consciousness, expanding your brain,
Yeah.
becoming all part of that personal growth aspect and becoming a better human and evolving constantly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what else can you do to contribute to that, to your own growth?
Yeah, I might do a couple of I don't wanna do traditional courses of study because I don't wanna
Yeah.
do a whole massive degree and commit to all of that. I'd maybe do some online stuff, bit of
Yeah.
that, because, just small chunks. Because I'm also going
Like
through.
self-paced courses.
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
process I'm going through, I also feel, and I don't know if anyone else has ever done this, where they've done a massive session of forgiveness. It's almost like and this is gross, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's almost like all of the anger and the heartache and the circular thoughts of crap, the, you know, the hurt and the betrayal and all of those things that I was hanging on to occupied a really big part of my daily
Mm,
thinking. And
mm,
now it's gone. And I'm a bit
yeah.
ashamed of that, but that's the truth. So, and so now I'm like, well, what else am I going to think about? Isn't that terrible? Isn't that
So
terrible?
so what do you think you could replace those thoughts with?
Well, I don't. I think about our podcast and I think about all the cool shit we talk about and
Yeah.
stuff. So I love all of that. That's really positive. And I'm I'm sort of heading more towards the health and fitness side of things for a little bit too, and trying to expand my the group of people that I talk to in that space as well. So I've
Yeah.
joined a local club and I'm doing a bit of that, which probably should be enough, really. But maybe the other part of it is that I also need to allow myself time to process and let
Yes.
go. That might be the
Yes.
other side of it because I'm not very good at that. I'm very much a doer, not just a beer.
Yeah, okay. And it
Mm.
is interesting because one of the things that I've found through my own experience when I've gone through, whether it's doing a forgiveness practice or I've done a whole heap of personal growth work that has created a lot of space for me where I've let go of a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I usually find for a few days afterwards, like after I've had that what I refer to as aha moments and I've really allowed it to sink in and as you said
Mm.
before, you're kind of flying high going, "Oh, this is amazing and I'm getting this." Um, that all of a sudden you'll have a flat period because the physical side of things has to actually catch up
Oh, okay. Yeah.
to to the spiritual or energetic side of you. It's got to catch up.
I do
And
feel a bit tired, interestingly. Like I
yeah,
hit the gym Monday, went for a big walk yesterday. I'm going back to the gym this afternoon, but I do feel quite tired,
oh, there
you
you
know?
go. So
Mm.
I find that when I'll go through, especially if I've gone through a major breakthrough, I'll have
Mm.
a few days where I do, and sometimes can last a week, where
Yeah.
I'll just feel a bit, as you're explaining, a bit flat. It's not that
Mm.
you're feeling depressed.
No, no,
It's not
no.
that you're angry or anything like that. You're just feeling low.
Yeah.
As I said, it's all about allowing that information, that breakthrough to basically percolate throughout your body,
Yeah.
percolate throughout your cells, your energetic self as well. And that can
Mm.
take a few days. And then once it does, you've leveled up
Yeah.
ultimately. And you're
And it
ready for the
starts to come
next thing,
back.
and then you keep working on it.
Yeah.
And that's what I have found has actually been my experience. That's how I tend to cycle when I go through
Yeah. Yeah.
breakthrough. And it's quite fascinating. And I know, and now because I recognize it, I know that I am actually just leveling up.
That's a really good way to look at it too, because I was sort of going, "Oh, what's wrong with me? Like, I'm getting everything I want in life and I'm really happy and everything's awesome. And I've just had this major breakthrough. So why am I kind of low energy, feeling a bit tired? Like, what's happening here?" Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
good to know.
that's
Yeah.
what I would say it is.
I
Yeah.
think it's good for our viewers to know that too, because these are the challenges that come with personal growth. Because you
Mm.
think that, and I mean, we talk about it a lot. We talk about doing different things and looking at things differently and making the changes, but it will have an effect on you. So no one is going to be perfect all the time. No one's going to be happy all the time. You are going to have days where you just think, "Oh God, I'm quite tired. I don't feel like doing much today."
And that's okay. So you give
Mm,
yourself permission to take some
mm,
time out. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And do what you need to do, whether it is to sit down and relax for a couple of hours, read books, binge Netflix, doesn't really matter. Do whatever you need to do to
yeah,
just allow yourself to, you
yep,
know, let go of the old stuff because as you said, it's had a space in you for such a
yeah,
long time. And now your body needs to make room for other things to come in and not just your body, your whole mind, your spirit, your soul. It's all about
yeah.
energetically allowing that those new opportunities to come to you.
Yeah, it's funny
And in order
because
to do that, you've
I
got to level up.
I also found that I've started sort of sitting there going, "Okay, well, write a list of what you need to get done." And I wrote the list and went, "Oh, fuck." You know? I'm just not in that headspace at the moment. So
Yeah, so
maybe
don't write the list.
I'm
Yeah,
just not
don't force
ready.
yourself to do something that you're not ready to do. Exactly.
Not
Yeah,
ready. It's just trying to flog that dead horse. Let the horse have a sleep.
yeah.
Oh, my.
And it's interesting as well when you were mentioning, about, what do I do now? Like I feel as if I've received my abundance. I mean, there's still more to come.
Sure.
And, and I've got this room now within me and it's an empty space. What do I fill that with?
Mm.
And I know what I fill it with, and
Tell
I
me.
fill it
Tell
Come on,
me.
tell me. I fill it with my personal growth, like my meditation,
Your
my connection
practice.
to, what I refer to my inner D, my inner, divinity or my higher self or infinite intelligence,
Mm.
for some people, God, whatever. I just connect to myself within there and try and continually build that relationship with self.
Yep, yep.
And as I build that more and more and it becomes stronger and stronger, what I actually find is that I end up just feeling this total inner joy. all the time,
Mm.
and I want to
Yep.
be in that space as much. I would much prefer to be in a space of inner joy the majority of the time than, going through the cycles, ups and downs of life, because
Mm.
by staying in that place of inner joy, also what happens is you end up, I suppose, harmonizing or creating you're in a harmonic state as such.
Yeah.
So when events happen to you, it doesn't affect you.
Yeah.
You look at
Yeah.
it for what it is, and you're still coming from that place of inner joy and inner peace.
Yeah, it
And
can't yeah, I've been that
and
way
so
for a
that's
long
what I fill
time.
myself with.
Yeah, it's funny because I've been that way for a long time since I've been working through things, but, yeah, almost like the forgiveness took me up really high, and now I'm sort of coming back down again, and then it gave me a bit of a wobble. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the
Mm.
bubbles are okay, as I said, because what it actually is your whole body resetting. It's
Mm.
got to catch up to the energetic self, right?
Yep.
So it's got to reset itself, and you need those times for it to let go
Yep.
of some of that. Because I'm just going to take a step back. If we look at the chemical responses that happen in the body from our emotional states and things like that,
Yep.
you've been holding on to these negative thought patterns as such for a
Mm.
while, and they have
Mm.
created a chemical response in the body. And so now all of a sudden that body has to basically um, create that harmony within itself of not needing those chemical responses either, because they've become addictive.
Mm.
So
You
you
know,
think,
I think that's
when you're no
spot
longer
on.
producing those things, what happens within you? You'll feel flat. You think of someone when you're
Yeah, I think
dieting,
you're right.
getting rid of sugar. What happens when you get rid of sugar
I
out of
I
your
I think
diet?
my cortisol's dropped. I think I've had
Yeah.
very high cortisol for a long time. I know that I have, but I think my cortisol's dropping away because when my cortisol was really high, I couldn't dream,
Ah, and you're dreaming
interestingly.
now?
I'm dreaming now, and I'm dreaming deeply and weirdly and having a shit ton of crazy dreams all the time, like and dreams that I can remember, and
Yeah.
that's not been me for a long time, and I do feel in the morning I used to sleep and then just bound out of bed and go. And in the morning, I'm just lying here going, oh, wow. And I'm enjoying the things of my life more, like going, oh, this bed is so comfortable. I really need to move, but I'm feeling so good. And then having a shower and going, God, this water's amazing. And looking around me going, oh my God, my shower's awesome. Like just slowing down and really enjoying how good things are, but
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
feeling a bit flat.
Yeah. And, the body's always trying to create homeostasis, isn't it? So that's what's probably happening at the moment.
Mm,
You're not producing those chemicals anymore. So now it's got to create homeostasis in another way. And that is
mm,
utilizing the emotions of joy in that are going to have their own chemical response,
yeah.
and allowing that to settle. And that's why I say the body needs to actually play catch up
Yeah.
with where you are energetically and mentally. It's got to play catch up.
And I've just added in a full weights workout for my
Yeah.
body as well. So that's
Because you haven't gone halfway. You've gone, I'm going to play full out. So, yeah.
well, that is me. Otherwise I get bored. Yeah, so but that's interesting. And I think it is a good thing for people to know that no matter how hard you work on yourself. And in some ways I kind of like it because I know that um I'm still doing the work. There's
Yeah.
still stuff going on because if you reach a plateau, because you do reach plateaus, they're a natural thing. Sometimes you can feel like I said to you the other week, "Oh, I feel like I'm not doing enough work really because everything's so good at the moment and I just feel like I'm in a place where I'm not doing anything." Well, the universe answered, didn't it? That's how it works.
And it's funny because when things do come, when you're coming from a place of joy and ease, and as you said, the floodgates have opened, and you look at it and you go, wow, all these things are happening. And they do happen with ease.
They
Life
do.
is meant to happen with ease.
Yeah,
It's our actual fears, doubts, negative beliefs that are the things that make it hard. Nothing else.
it
It's how
really
we
is. It really
it's
is.
and
Yeah.
they're the things that create the difficulties in our life. And when we let those things go and we
Mm,
start working on bringing more joy, more peace, more love into our life, and that's about into yourself and
mm,
into your own thought process, and living your space from majority of the time from that place, as
yep,
opposed to majority of the time coming from doubt, fear, anxiety, stress,
yep.
etc. All of a sudden things come to you in a different manner, and they've always been there. We've spoken about this before. They've always
Oh,
been there, but you just couldn't see them because
no.
you're attuned to something else. You're
Yeah,
looking
you're
for
caught up.
something else.
Caught up in
And
other
now all of a
garbage.
sudden you are going, well, there's only good around me, and that's what I'm looking for. And so all of a sudden good is appearing everywhere. And you go, but this is happening too easy. It's not meant to be this easy because that's the old
Yeah.
programming, right? It's not meant to be
I'm
this
used to
easy.
fighting for stuff. I don't have to fight for anything.
Exactly.
And in a way, like, part of me is going, well, what now?
But isn't that because you yourself have always been a fighter?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, because I've not known any other way to survive.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, and that's
And you've
probably why I'm
created an
having.
identity around being a fighter.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't want that anymore. I wanna be peaceful.
Yeah. And so what happens when you let go of that old identity?
Oh, it's a big shift, I think. I think it's a big shift because everything changes the way you think. So, you go to the gym, because you want to be fit and you want to be sharp and you want to be able to, be hyper vigilant, look after yourself, which is a completely different reason than why I'm going to the gym now. I'm going because I just want to be healthy and I want to be
Yeah.
strong and I
Yeah.
want to age well and retain my mobility and my muscle mass so that I don't get nasty chronic long term diseases. And as I
Yeah.
age, I want to be a happy old lady, not a miserable one that's taking loads of pills. So it's a
Yeah.
completely different mind shift and a totally different reason for doing things. And that actually changes the way you show up when you go to the gym. So I'm going to a little gym down at my local surf lifesaving club where there's no one, and I just go in there by myself. I can take my dog. You know? Like, they're like, "Just bring your dog." I'm like, "Really?" They're like, "Yeah, just bring her in." I was like, "Far out, okay." If she manages to run upstairs and get a pat, bonus. Everyone loves it. So, I'm going in there and I'm just doing what I need to do for me to follow my health goals. That's
Yeah.
it. There's no one else in there. I don't even care. Like, and I couldn't give a rat's ass what anyone else thinks. I'm just doing my thing, which is completely different. It's a completely different mindset. And sometimes I think I do slip back into that old mindset because it's normal to do that when you're going through a transitional phase. But
Yeah.
for the most
Well, it's
part,
the old pattern. It's the easier pattern. It's the pattern that you know.
yeah.
So it's very easy to step back in. And you're building new muscle
Mm,
with the new thought process.
yeah, the new brain.
And, and that sometimes it's, as you said, especially if something pops up,
Yeah,
like a stressful event
the
or
challenge.
something pops up, that'll be the challenge is do you stay in your new way of thinking or do you fall back into the old pattern?
Yeah,
And
it's funny. Something happened yesterday, actually. We
yeah,
walked into a shop, Ruby and I, my youngest, were looking for an item. And, typical where I live, they saw us and went hi, and they didn't go, "We'll be there in a minute." They just went hi and then turned back to whatever they're doing. They're just having a totally cruisy chat with, and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm sort of waiting by the front counter and making it really obvious that we're waiting, and then nothing happened. So the old me would have gone, "I don't want to upset anyone. I've just got to sit here and just say nothing, just wait." And instead I just walked over and went, "Hi, not sure how long you're going to be. I've just got one quick question." And I just asked her, "Do you stock these?" And she said, "No, we don't actually." I went, "Okay, thanks, no worries." And I walked out. I went to walk out. And as we went to walk out, she followed us and said, "Well, thank you so much for your patience," like that at me, which was totally passive aggressive. And I went, "Whatever, man." And I just kept walking.
yeah. But that's the thing when you're coming from that place of that new way of thinking as such, you will find that, especially when you are coming from that space all the time, that events like that don't affect you.
I don't
And,
care.
it's just, as I said, water off a duck's back, you walk away and you go, yeah,
And my
whatever.
daughter was like, "Oh, she was being really rude, Mum." I said, "Oh, whatever, let's just go.
Yeah.
We'll just go. I don't
Because
care."
it's not worth the energy. And they'll let her stick with her stuff and you deal with your stuff. You know? Definitely far better. We all have a wall of can't. And
Mm.
these are really your limiting beliefs. They are the only thing preventing you from living the life that you absolutely love.
Yeah, absolutely. Blame kills productivity because making decisions and getting things done is the absolute antithesis of being a victim.
It certainly is. And we all want to move past that victim mindset. What is the single negative story that you actually keep telling yourself about over and over again?
Yeah. And I mean, it is a lie. It's a complete lie. Like, you can believe that you'll never change a certain aspect of yourself. The good news is that if you don't know where to start, turn inward. If you want to do the work, unbelievable results will follow.
Here at the Art of Beautiful Thinking, we've actually created a workbook called Your Authentic Life Blueprint.
Mm.
I pretty much created this based on all of the tools that have assisted me to level up from growing up in a domestic violence environment. I've condensed these tools into a workbook that actually guides you to understanding you and to bring joy into your life and to live life from that place. What we will also do is guide you in creating your new belief by unlocking your limiting beliefs, identifying your self-sabotaging habits, and understanding your values and strengths so you can increase your self-confidence.
Mm.
We also assist you to define your unique purpose, and you get to set goals based on that and then break those down from huge tasks into smaller, powerful steps so you
Yep.
can do something every single day towards living a life that is uniquely yours.
Yeah, you build it brick by brick. It's completely doable. It goes from being overwhelming and huge, and where do I start, to here's your map. The only way to not achieve these results is by giving it zero effort. That's maths.
So, if you're ready to make a deep structural shift in your mindset and create that lasting change that you're actually looking for, stop doing the inner work alone, because we all need a guide from time to
Yep.
time. So, come and join our community of like minded people.
Yeah, absolutely. Doing it alone is just so hard. The Authentic Life Blueprint workbook is actually your comprehensive 12-week roadmap. And you can use it as a powerful self-study, or you can have it as a foundation for our entire coaching program. It's up to you. You can use as much or as little as you want. You don't have to lock into great big long things. You can just choose how it works for you, because we understand that's what people want to do. Before I did the workbook, I'd done decades of work with clinical psychologists, trauma counselors, self-growth in other areas, different ways. I'd done it all because I was also like you, Eva. I had a shitty upbringing, very traumatic. It has been a massive journey, but this 12-week roadmap that I took, I just could not believe the jumps forward that I made. It was incredible.
They're very simple processes, but the results
Yeah.
are lasting.
Huge.
So click on the link below and grab your workbook today, because you want your transformation to start right now.
Yeah, don't waste any more time being miserable or suffering. It's not worth it.
So what else has been happening?
Well, strangely, when I was before I was going through the forgiveness situation, I was sort of forming. I was doing a lot of work, as you know, around sort of what are the things that you do want in your life? Because it's all well and good to go, well, these are the things I don't want. These are the things that make me unhappy. What are the things that you want? How does your ideal life look? I've been doing a lot of that, right? And one of the big things was I want to travel. I want to go to places I've never seen a lot. Again, it just comes out of nowhere. And I want to be able to afford to do that when I feel like it, because that's a big thing for me. And then my husband rang me like 2 days ago and said, do you want to come to Perth? I said, oh, should I? Do you think we should? He goes, yeah, come to Perth. Come on, just come for the weekend. You've never been. Now's the time. Just come. And I went, now the old me would have gone, oh, no, we haven't budgeted for it. Like, let's be sensible, blah, blah. And the new me looked in the bank accounts and went, yeah, fuck it, let's go. Which sounds really self-indulgent, but it's something that I've always really wanted. And yeah, like it's just really weird. Like, I know that it's exactly doing what you said would work, but it's so weird that the whole, like my circumstances, my life is just shifting around what I want.
Well, you're seeing things differently, aren't you?
Mm.
From
Yeah.
a different perspective. Because I know if I look at everyone's life, I suppose, but my life in particular, yes, there are certain things that I love in my life. I love traveling. I love going to Europe.
Yep.
Definitely like flying business class
Yeah.
and
Gotcha.
enjoy those perks. I really love doing, things like the podcast, having a fabulous relationship with my husband, and I love having money in the bank. There's a whole heap of stuff that I really, really love. And I can look at those things and go, well, okay, if something's not happening, I can look at it and go, oh, well, we haven't done a lot of travel this year. I'm going to be really depressed. Or I can go, well, I'm using those funds to do something else that I really, really want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Or it's also looking at it going, but if I want to travel, I can, because that's a choice I have.
That's right.
I can use those funds for any purpose, really.
Yes. Yeah.
But I'm choosing to use it for travel, or I'm choosing to use it for the business, or I'm choosing to use it for this. And when I have an abundance of cash, I can do multiple things. And that's the idea, isn't it? It's the freedom of being able to do multiple
Freedom is the number one drive for me, is freedom. Yeah, that's right. I don't want to be forced into doing things I don't like. I don't want to be pushed around by or made to work for people that have, I look at them, I think, God, you've got the capacity, you've got you could write everything you know about being smart, a smart manager on the back of a postage stamp. I don't want to be involved with that. And I don't want to be part of an organization that does stuff like that. So, yeah, for me, freedom and having space to be honest and brave, that is big for me. I like that. And I can and I used to think that was, and it was funny because when you're in the workplace, people will say, well, you've got to comply. And that's a very selfish mindset. And it's very self-centered. And, the world doesn't revolve around you, things like that, those kinds of things. But actually, my world does revolve around me right now because I'm out there giving it what I need to give it to make that happen. And that is, I'm sort of just stunned, really.
Well, the interesting thing is we are all the center of our own universes, aren't we?
We are. We are.
So,
Yeah.
and it's really important that you understand that you are responsible and accountable for
Yeah.
creating what it is that you want to create in your life, and
Yeah.
also responsible and accountable for whether you are constantly thinking in a negative way or in a positive way. You've
Yeah.
got choices. There's always choices.
You just up
And
that vibration and it's
yeah,
it's physics. It just
yeah,
makes total sense. And if you're lucky enough to have an awesome partner to share that stuff with, it's like the icing on the cake, isn't
it
it?
is. It is. And what is an awesome partner? Someone who supports you in being you. Yeah. Not
Yeah.
trying to be each other's shadow, not trying to stop the
No.
other person or control the other person, but supporting you and being you. And in fact, you're able to be yourself even more because
Yeah. Yeah,
they
totally be
support you.
yourself. And someone who looks at your flaws and goes, "Okay, I accept that. I
What
accept
flaws?
those flaws." What flaws? I love it. I'll tell Jeff he said that. That's great. But yeah, and that's, yeah, anyway. So yeah, I guess I'm having a bit of and it was funny because I had a really good chat with Tammy, our friend, the artist. Thank you for sharing all of her work. So she's doing really well at the moment as well. She's got 6 weeks to get this big work of art done, this mural that she's been contracted to do by a local council, and it won't stop raining. And I just said to her
Oh,
this morning, it was just won't stop raining. I said, "How are you going?" She said, "I've bought all the paints. I've got 6 weeks." And I was like, "Shit, what are you going to do?" And you know what? Because she's been doing a lot of mindset work too. She said,
yeah,
"I can't control the council. I can't control the rain or the weather. So I'll just do what I can do and I'll just trust that it will work out." And I was like, yes, that's it, sis.
I can,
Sometimes things like that, there's an extension or there's a reason for delay. It turns out to be
yeah,
better in the end anyway. Coincides with
exactly,
other things. Yeah.
exactly. And it's funny you should talk about that because things do happen for a reason. Like you can look at something and go, "Well, I really wanted this particular thing and it didn't happen, and now I'm down and out about it." Right?
Yeah.
Um, and then you find later something else falls in your lap that
Mm.
was so much better than
Yeah.
the previous thing, and that
Yep.
was the whole reason why that particular event couldn't
Oh,
happen.
100%. 100%. It's funny. I really look at that. And the thing is, the key is to sit in I suppose, the troughs, which can go
Yeah,
for quite a long period of time, which is kind of where I'm at the moment, where I'm going, okay, well, we'll see what's going to happen next. Like I've got irons in the fire. I'm putting in effort, but I'm not trying to go off in a new direction. We'll just keep going forward and we'll just see where this leads and what happens next. And it might not mean that, you see a lot of forward motion currently, but it's still happening slow and steady. Yeah. And I no longer, I think a big part of me working for other people that I really disliked was I used to really find that I would have to compromise myself and my principles. I would have to keep asking to sit at a table that I wasn't invited to. And I hate that. That's just not me. It's just not me. I don't see the purpose of doing that because if people aren't offering you a seat at the table, don't ask for one because they don't want
no,
you there.
go create your own table.
Go create your own table
Yeah,
and bring your tribe to sit there with you.
yeah,
Yeah, and don't worry about it. Mm,
yeah, absolutely.
mm.
So, how are you feeling now with talking that out a little bit more?
Yeah, I feel a bit better because I feel like, and I know one of the things that I can tend to do as a fairly ambitious and relatively driven person is I can put a lot of pressure on myself.
Yeah,
And don't and I think having had high cortisol and things for a long time, sometimes that can make you kind of speed up and expect life to go at that same pace, and life doesn't go at that pace. like there is such a thing as divine timing, and things will come out. If they need to move quickly, they will, like I've just seen, and sometimes they take a while, and that's just how it goes.
So, what do you think from our conversation has struck a chord with you about your truth?
I think you've normalized that you do feel like this after you've had a bit of a breakthrough. Because I think, and yeah, I know that, yeah. I mean, I haven't done a lot of the forgiveness work, and I've not seen the results flow as quickly as
Yeah.
that before. Like, I think we discussed it when we're talking about the forgiveness, that hanging on or not, or being unforgiving is a massive abundance blocker.
Mm.
And I didn't believe that. I didn't really like, I didn't until I did the forgiveness work, and then was going through that. Oh, okay, yeah, I can see that it does block abundance. And then the abundance came flying at me. I was like,
So, when we think about that, and you're saying that it can block abundance. Why do you believe it does block abundance?
because yeah, that is a really good question. How does that work? So when your head is full of, again, it's your thoughts. When your head is full of like hanging on to an ugly ball that's taking up half your brain space of just crappy garbage and circular thinking and, um, regret or anger or shame or whatever it is that you're going round and round in those thoughts, and you're replaying, I think it's like replaying a movie in your head. You constantly remember how they treated you, or you think, oh my God, I wished I'd only done this. Whatever it is, that takes up a massive chunk of space in your thinking, and it takes up your mental energy. It takes up your psychic energy. It sends out a vibration to the universe that says, my focus is on this, and this is what I'm focusing on. So, the universe doesn't actually judge your thoughts, whether they're moral or right or wrong or whatever. We discussed this when we talked about karma. Your karma is what you think you deserve, right? So if you're constantly sending out the message, I'm thinking about the shit that people have done that I'm not forgiving them for, the universe is going, oh, okay, yep, all right. So you want to dwell on that? Okay, cool. We'll bring more of that into your focus, and that's what you want. Cool. And when you go, I don't want to think about that anymore. I want to be abundant, and I want to now think about the cool things I want to have in my life. So I'm letting that go. I'm forgiving that. Now I'm going to fill my mind up with dreams and excitement and things that I actually want. You're sending a different message out to the universe who says, oh, so you want cool things to happen. Here you go then. Here you go then. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Sounds so
And what
simple.
happens if you've got both? Yeah, if you're jumping,
It's a mixed
seesawing
message.
between the two.
It's a mixed message, and you won't
Yeah.
get, I think that's what happened to me. I had both, and then, like I said, behind that damn wall was
Yep.
sitting there waiting for me, the rewards, but I couldn't quite focus on them. So I was sort of, and then once I went, right, done, and let that go, it was like the damn wall broke and all of the cool stuff just came flying at me.
And so that
Yeah.
was going through the forgiveness process, as you said. That was the final thing for you to
Yeah,
allow
the
that down
forgiveness
wall to break.
process.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then everything, it was like, and I almost cringe when I say this, because you know that I'm not this kind of person. I'm like, oh, stick it up your bum. When I did the forgiveness, yes, it literally was like unlocking all the abundance that I've been wanting. I reminded myself of my Labrador when I throw biscuits, because sometimes I have to chuck biscuits out on the back deck because she's such a piggy that I can't put it in a bowl, because otherwise she inhales it. Like, she will actually be crying because she inhales it so fast.
Oh,
So when
wow.
I throw a cup of biscuits out, she'll try and catch it in the air. She'll go like this with her mouth, like snap, snap, snap. And I'm like, just stop. The biscuits are on the ground now. You can eat them. But yeah, like I was sort of just trying to catch everything, because like everything flew at me at such a fast pace. I was like, oh, I think I'm kind of in a little bit of a state of shock as well, because I can't believe how effective this has been. I'm sort of, I know, and I never doubt you, obviously, and I know what I've read and I know what I've looked at, but just to see it in practice has been quite mind blowing.
So when you say that you were surprised on how effective it has been, why do you think you were surprised? Like, where's that surprise come from?
I've never really practiced forgiveness before because I was too much of a mean old bitch. So
But it's also, you've tried different things in the past as well, haven't you?
I've done lots of different things in the past to get past, a lot of the stuff that happened to me as a child. We talked about our trauma, loads of things. And
Yeah.
a lot of it has been talk therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, psychology, traditional kind of stuff. Really, none of it has been around actively thinking about shifting my energy or my vibration or my perspective. And yes, I've changed my thoughts on things, but it's never been like the mirror work and really focusing on myself and getting real with. A lot of it has been, well, this is what you should be thinking, not, well, what do I want?
Mm.
When you get really, really, when you start to really listen to that voice and you get in tune with what you want, um, I think it comes back to something that you've said many times, is that we're all here for a purpose, for a thing that we're meant to be doing, whatever that is. It's different for everybody.
Yeah, unique
And when
for
you get
everyone.
into alignment with that, to get into alignment with that, you actually have to be able to stop and sit and listen and go, well, what is it? And that's, again, you've got to go inside, figure out what that is. And then when you're on the right path, forgiveness unblocks the abundance, and then it all comes flying at you. So clearly I'm on the right path, which is nice to know.
That's
Ah.
brilliant because
Mm.
it's fascinating. And I was thinking of this morning when I was doing my meditation. It really is about like everything about the authentic life blueprint, and that's what you've just been working
Talking
through.
about, yeah.
Um, is actually about finding your truth, and
Mm.
your truth is unique to
Yep.
everyone, to whatever
Yep.
that may be. And my truth is different than your truth, and vice versa. I mean,
Yep.
sometimes we can be aligned on certain things, but usually it's the things that you value highly in life. And what are those things that you value highly?
Yep.
You just have to look at the way that you react to things to see what you value, and what you don't value. Or are
Yeah.
you reacting because you're not being able to live the life that you want, so you're reacting negatively towards that
Mm.
because your values are over here, but you are so misaligned,
Yeah.
from your value system. And it really is about identifying what that truth is for yourself and
Yeah.
tapping into that. And as you said, having those internal conversations with yourself so you can find out, what
Yeah.
is it that brings me joy? What is it that brings
Absolutely.
me peace?
Yep.
What are the things that I absolutely love in this life?
Yep.
What would I love to experience in this
Yep.
life? And be open to the possibility that if you feel that, if you believe that these are the things you absolutely love, well,
Mm.
you are then going to have that abundance in your life if you are open to receiving it. And
Yeah, it's
you
funny
are,
because it's a big thing, and I mean, some of my dreams are huge,
yeah,
huge, and
yeah,
people say, "Oh," and I've had people say to me, "Oh gosh, what makes you think that you deserve that?" And that's the other thing actually that I'll point out. I've been walking around a lot with the mantra in my head now since I've done the forgiveness work. I'm walking around a lot going, "Well, I deserve it." And it's
you
funny
do.
because my mum said to me the other day, "Geez, your life's sort of nice that this is going well and that's going well, isn't it?" And I went, and it just came out of my mouth. I went, yeah, well, I deserve it. And she looked at me and I went,
And that's the thing, you have to believe that you deserve it.
well, I
If
do, because that was the first
you
thing
want
that
to
came
bring it
straight
into
out of
your
my mouth.
life. Because if you don't think you deserve it, you're going to keep pushing it away. Even if
Mm.
it's trying to come to you, you're going to keep pushing it away.
Yep. Yep. And I did that for
And
a long time.
I've always been a firm believer as well that if you get a visual in your mind of something that you see yourself doing in the future, a dream or something like that, if you can
Yep.
think it, you can create it.
I agree with that. I think that my belief, I used to do that a lot when I had my business. And I have to say, I found working for other people really knocked my self belief and my capacity to manifest. It knocked the shit out of it, because one of the things that I found working for other people a really detrimental experience. I mean, I did learn some things, but I found it very difficult to squash myself to fit
Mm.
the thinking, which is, that all of that, that sort of poverty mentality. This is all that we'll get. This is all we're good for. And it's part of the, I suppose, the system that we live in. That we sell people this story from when they're a young age, because then we'll have reliable workers that will just show up and press buttons. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, that there are people out there that are quite content to do that, and that's fine. But some people are not content. And if you're not content, squashing yourself into that, as I did, robbed me of my self-esteem and just made me feel I had to do years of kind of being out in the desert to be able to come back in,
Mm.
back to the prosperity and abundance mindset that I had before that.
Yeah. And
Mm.
it's fascinating because when you've been away from it for such a long time and you're starting to come back to it, you do know that it's truth because all of a sudden you feel joy in your heart and you
Feel
go,
better.
"This is
Just feel better
truth.
about
I
my
feel
life.
this. I
Yep.
feel really." And so because you feel that joy and that truth in you, you know that you're on the right path.
Yeah.
If you weren't getting that, if you were totally fearful and anxious, and I'm talking about in a bad way, not in a good
Mm,
way,
mm.
then you're not on the right path. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, if your
And
brain's screaming at you.
it's so many of us are living life from that place all the
Mm.
time
Yep. Yep.
because we are fitting into the mold of society, what we believe that we are meant to do within society or with
Yeah.
the programming that we've been raised with.
Yep.
And with that mindset of we're not good enough, we're not like those people. And no, you're not like those people. You are unique. You
But
have
most
your
people
own
don't,
path, you know?
most people don't believe that. And I know that that was very much the mindset that abounded when I was working for other people. It's very much, I think that's, you kind of have to think that way to get through it. You've got to be like, this is it. Otherwise it's awful,
Well,
isn't
yeah,
it?
you've got to kind of put on your armor and then get
Mm.
out there and be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And as you said, all that does is it drags you down, especially
Yeah.
if you're someone that feels as if you are meant to be doing more in your life.
Yeah. 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 And going from working for yourself for 15 years and then trying to work for other people. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
degree in that alone.
So I think having that faith in yourself, like that
Mm.
trust in yourself, that's the first step to awakening. It's the first step to really to start to understand what you believe you're here to do
Yeah.
in your life, what
Yep.
you want to experience in your life, and what you want
Mm.
to express in your life.
Yep.
But you've got to come back to, as you said to yourself, you've got to come back to your inner work and
Yeah.
have those inner conversations and let go. Like, look at yourself and go, what are the things that I'm holding on to that are really not supporting me in especially the direction that I want to go? So if this is a new chapter in your life that you are creating, how do you want to write that book? How do you want to
Yeah.
write that chapter? You,
And
you know,
sometimes that conversation is actually a painful one that you have
sometimes
with
it is,
yourself,
yeah,
because I had to go through, um, it was a bit jarring to go, "Ooh, okay, this is how you're thinking now. This is what you're focusing on. That's a bit gross," you know? And I think you and I had quite a few conversations, and I did a lot of work looking at my victim mentality that was coming from
mm,
that as well, which
mm,
does not help anyone, does not
no,
help anyone at all. Like victim mentality, the minute you slip into that, you just give away all your power. And you may have been a victim and some things, awful things may have happened to you, because I know they've certainly happened to me. But hanging on to that and making that part of your identity just is so disempowering, because I've done it.
totally.
Mm,
It is really disempowering.
mm.
And it's not going to help you achieve the things in life that
And no
you
one's going to bring you
genuinely
the
do.
things. No
No,
one's
you've
going
got
to
to do it
give you the
yourself.
things. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
No one's going to do that. It's funny because I know someone has said to me many years ago, "Oh, you're very lucky, aren't you? You've married a very successful man." I'm like, "Yeah, no, it didn't happen that way. Actually, I helped make him successful."
It's funny because uh, if I look at career wise, etc. When I first met Jeff, yeah, he was earning more money than I was, and I remember having a conversation with him and saying, I feel as if I'm not, meeting you halfway. That
Mm.
you're earning so much and I'm
Yep.
earning this piddly amount, and I just
Yep.
want to be equal,
Yep.
in this.
Yep.
And he's going, well, if that's what you want to do, go for it. So I
Yep.
started looking into all the things that I could do to drive my career, and I
Yeah.
did. And
Yeah.
I drove my career so much that I ended up earning more than he did.
Well and truly more than him.
Yeah. And he was proud of that. But it was still
Yeah.
funny that in social situations, people would always go up to, say to Jeff, oh, so you guys are doing really well. So what is it that you're doing?
Mm.
And it's fascinating how society automatically goes, oh, there's a couple. The male
Yeah.
is the one bringing in all the money.
Yeah. Yeah.
The female's not. It's just fascinating how that still happens. Yeah.
Yeah, it is funny. And the other thing is, like, incomes change when you're in a committed relationship. Everything in, like, if you're in a long-term relationship with
No,
someone, you're
it's
married or whatever,
everything's shared. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
everything's shared, but everything changes. So, there might, I mean, I know when Joe and I first got together, I was earning way more than him.
Yep.
And in some ways I think that inspired him. But then also I worked together with him to make some changes, and then he now earns way more. That's sort of how it's gone.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and I think in relationships that are long term, that are healthy, you both change, you inspire one another, and you try new things, because otherwise you just stagnate.
So
No.
even if you're not the main contributor, it doesn't matter because you're still in a relationship together. So it doesn't matter who the main contributor is, not really.
Oh, no.
So I'm just going to look at it based on everything we've discussed today. And I know there's been a little bit of coaching stuff in here, but it's mostly
Yeah.
been us just gibbering. But if I was to just ask you, what was your biggest takeaway from today's, recording?
From today's
Yeah.
conversation, um, cut yourself some slack, because it's normal to go through tough times, and don't have ridiculously high expectations that you can't meet, because it's okay.
Mhm.
It's okay not to, you don't have to power on and be perfect every day. You're allowed to have dips and troughs. We're normal, we're human, and I've realized that I'm expecting, after such a big event, I may be setting my bar a little bit high, and I need to just allow myself that shift, allow myself space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
That's my key takeaway from today. Thank you very much.
And is there anything that you would like to say to our audience based on your experience to date?
Yeah, I think never underestimate how powerful this sort of stuff is, because I've underestimated the power of it for years. I've always gone, oh no, I don't want to deal with this stuff. It's a little bit woo, I'll just stick with everything, to do with clinical psychology and cognitive stuff. And I think this kind of stuff, this metaphysical work, it's the other side of the puzzle, because we know that not everybody gets better when they're
No.
dealing with stuff, and not everybody is able to change their life through traditional methods. It's the other part of the puzzle. It's if getting in touch with yourself and being able to figure out what you want, and literally working with the rules of the universe, because that's what this is.
Yep.
Um,
Universal laws. Yeah.
yeah, universal laws. That's the key. If you can't do that, and if you ignore it or deny its existence and just go, whatever, I'm not doing it, you'll get a half result.
Mm,
You'll miss out on heaps of powerful change.
absolutely.
And
Well,
if you
thank
don't know where to
you.
start, no, thank you. And if you don't know where to start, ask Eva, because she knows.
Well, thank you.
All good.
No, the reason why I say thank you is because you've been really authentic in going into how you were feeling,
Yeah.
after going through a big forgiveness process,
Mm.
and I really appreciate that. It humbles me to know that the work that we've developed is
Oh
actually
my God, it's
helping
huge.
people so much, and
It's powerful.
and
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that to see the results that you're actually receiving, which is
Yeah.
fantastic.
And
Yeah,
I'm grateful because I'm loving it. So yeah, it's really good. Yeah. It's life changing.
absolutely, absolutely. So on that note, I'd just like to say thank you to our audience for today's session. Hopefully, Kat's story has been inspiring to you on some level to make you realise that you do have down days, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Especially when you're going through personal growth stuff.
Mm.
Expect that that dirty water to get stirred
Stirred
and
up.
come to the top, all that
Yeah.
sediment coming to the top. It'll happen, and just keep marching on.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you'll
One
get
foot in front of
through.
the
You'll
other.
get through the other end. Persistence pays off. It really does.
For
So,
sure.
again, thank you for listening. We would love to have you part of our Facebook community. You will find us on Facebook under the Art of Beautiful Thinking podcast.
Yep.
And there you can ask us questions, be part of the group.
Come in and be supported. Come in and be supported. Ask questions. If you want us to cover something in a podcast, feel free to have a chat with us about it. Or if there's anything that we've covered and has given you some sort of a perspective, or you've found a result from using any of our techniques, give us a sing out. Let us know. We'd love to know.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll have a link to the Authentic Life Blueprint workbook within our description or bio. So please go there and check it out. It's
Oh,
only
yeah.
50 Australian dollars if you just want the workbook.
Yep.
Coaching programs a little bit more if you want to abide by that.
Yep.
We leave that choice entirely up to you. So until
Yeah.
next time, think beautifully and live brilliantly. Ciao.
Bye.
We'd like to say a huge thank you to our incredible audience for your continued support. Our mission is to ignite your spark, empowering you to be a beacon of light for others. We'd love to hear from you. So if you've got any questions that you would like answered in future episodes or just want to share some insights, connect with us on our Facebook community page. If you're looking for additional resources, go to our website. You'll find the link below. And remember, the absolute best way to help us grow is to share this episode with your friends and family and to subscribe to the Art of Beautiful Thinking podcast. So until next time, think beautifully and live brilliantly.